Dragons Rising Season 1, Mech, Climber, and Tournament suits. They can be the absolute peak for some of the ninja, or painfully mid. The 4 suit designs as just mentioned will be going under a category of uniform. This is important because from all 24 suit lineups there are plenty of individualized and uniform designs. I won't be focusing too much on the individualized designs because, well, you know, they're meant to stand on their own, but I will mention some here and there. Got it? Cool. I'd say these are pretty uniform. Sure, they have some personalization, but unlike suits from Season 11, Season 8, Season 9, etc., you can just tell scuba is meant to go together. Here's the reason. It's the yellow accents. Everyone here has the little symbols plastered on this right here is an issue I call the one. Get used to it. Now, I assure you there's a reason why I went from 21 to 23, and that's because the scuba suits was when I first noticed the inconsistency in uniform suits. Take a look at these. They look fine, right? Wrong! There's the one. Tell me why everyone has their secondary color around their tummy and Cole has it around his chest. Couldn't they just have put the orange around his tummy instead? Well, yes. But then the orange interferes with the gold, essentially blending them together, although it's nothing the designers at LEGO aren't opposed to doing because of this thing. Okay, so how about this little mock-up I made? It fits a little better, but that's the thing, it doesn't exist. So I'm stuck with this minifigure which feels so individualized in a lineup of uniform. But it doesn't end there. Lift up the neck attachments and presto. 4 out of the 6 have a perfect balance between the undershirt and the belt, except for Zane and Kai. I can at least, cover up the prints, but it has to be through these abominations. How do you get so close, yet so far from the perfect suit lineup? I mean, really. Bland and uninteresting, but still fun. This is the mindset of a LEGO fan. So yeah. These are fine, but don't let your eyes deceive you. Kai, perfect. Lloyd, nearly perfect, but it's only held back by the legs not being, the little skirt piece being bright green, for whatever reason. Nia, perfect. Jay, perfect, even though I prefer him having more yellow, but whatever. Zane, perfect, but please get rid of that light gray, it's so boring. Cole, perfect. Wait, they're all pretty good. I mean, they're painfully whatever, but for some reason, they're good. Now, as a certified plastic enjoyer, this one does not meet my personal standards, and I would go into more detail, but I got a buddy who'll know, everything.
Alright, I am here today because the climber suits are such a conflicting set of suits for me. It is arguably one of my favorite set of suits for Ninjago, and also one of the most frustrating of all time. There's a lot of things that I feel like I have to mention that aren't exactly relevant to the suits themselves. First and foremost, the lack of Aaron and Sora when their hood pieces would have made this extremely easy and absolutely perfect. The other is the awful distribution of these suits being strung across very expensive sets, most of which are overpriced, and it just makes the main suits of the season pretty hard to obtain. And the third, why is there Climber Woo? I mean, who is asking for this? I can forgive Jay, it completes the lineup even if he's non-canon, but Climber Woo, who wanted this? Who asked for this? Could this not have been Bonzel, Geo, a new Aaron, a new Sora, anybody more deserving of a variant? Or could it not have been Spirit Woo, at least a canon variant of Woo? Regardless, let's get into some issues about these suits. The elemental symbols on the suits are covered up by the armor, and the elemental symbols are a recurring element of the Dragon's Rising suits. If you put all the suits next to each other, they all have that elemental insignia, except for these ones. Well, they are on these figures, they're just covered up by the armor, and taking off the armor isn't really much of a solution, because the armor is the best part of these figures, so if you take it off, they don't look nearly as good. Cole is my favorite of the climbers. He actually gets a rare W by being different because, as I'm sure has been discussed, Cole often seems to be the odd one out. He kind of goes against the design philosophy of the other suits. He gets a W for this one because he's far superior, in my opinion, having the armor match the upper mask, the orange arms. It looks fantastic. It makes him stick out once again, but I feel like he looks really good. Zane stands out as well. Not in a good way. The use of flat gray is baffling. It makes the figure really dull. I don't know why it wasn't silver. Yes, it would have matched his skin. It would have been fine. The trim on Nia's gi not being gunmetal is really frustrating because it doesn't match the armor. Meanwhile, every other figure, the trim matches their armor and armor color, or arm and armor color. Nia gets flat gray. It just feels really lazy. And Keto Orange for Nia's chest, or the yellow for Nia's chest and waist straps, really confuses me. It looks horrible. Feels like they're trying to harken back to Scuba Nia without any attempt to justify the color choice. It abandons the existing and established Dragon's Rising Nia color palette. And it matches Kai, which is a nice touch with the season's themes, but it's kind of a mess. The box art features some different colors for the suits, especially Lloyd having a dark red chest and waist strap. It makes me wonder how haphazardly are they changing the colors on these suits? How last second are the colors swapped out? So, yeah. The March 2024 wave of Ninjago sets was, in my opinion, the strongest launches we ever had. Some really amazing sets. And it's just unfortunate because, being one of my favorite waves, I was consistently frustrated about the shortcomings of these suits. Regardless of how good they are, they still could have been a lot better and a lot more consistent, as is the case with a lot of Ninjago suits.
These ones in particular, man. Lloyd and Nia are perfect. There's a perfect balance of color distribution between the undershirt and the belt. But the other three, just why didn't the designers not continue what Lloyd and Nia did? I guess I could understand Cole's, since his headband has supposedly been retired, and you'd have to adjust the suit to that circumstance, right? Oh, and not to mention, there's technically no Jay. See, I'm not gonna be putting Jay with the ninja, I'm putting him with the villains where he belongs. Oh, and by the way, this is the definitive Nia suit. I mean, it's freaking perfect. You know what sucks? I've always wanted the perfect suit lineup for the ninja, and that's probably never gonna happen. I mean, Season 11, ZX, Core, Dragon's Rising Season 1, they all get so close, but it's never perfect. 13 years of suits, and it's never perfect. Never with them. Fortunately, the ninja, or should I call them the old ninja, are not the focus anymore. And that goes to the new ninja, Sora and Eren, kinda Wildfire too. Which is the best possible outcome for me personally, because I can finally have something that embodies the whole show in a plastic form. Just look at Master Lloyd with his students together. It's the best possible thing to have ever happened to me and this franchise. I'm serious. I love these minifigures. They're so definitive. I literally don't have one problem with them. I adore them. They're the absolute peak.